We love hip hop.
I'm going to do a quick search and put in India versus Canada. Obviously, I like to get into these topics when it comes to the city and it comes to the politics that happens over here and immigration. Immigration is a hot topic on this channel. And we've explored all of the different immigration scams that have been going on with the Indian population. We discovered a couple of days ago when we were doing the live that it went from 400,000 a year that were coming into Canada back in 2020 to now over 1 million a year coming into Canada, and 50% of those people are coming from India. Now, from that, what we uncovered that, there was a lot of scams that are going on for the reasons why they're bringing all of this immigration over here and the rise of the influx of immigration. But there's also been a lot of diplomatic unrest that's been going on that I've been watching. I like I told y'all, I tell you all the time, I watch a lot of CP24. I try to keep up with what's going on. I think a lot of this has to do with Trudeau just not having it completely tight with the powers that be over there in India. Let's go through a couple of videos and learn some shit.
No matter which country you're from, the allegations the Canadian government has leveled against the Indian government are absolutely staggering.
Also, viewer discretion advised, because they're going to be talking about a few people getting murked and stuff like that, like Indian diplomats and Canadian diplomats getting murked. Like, it gets deep.
I think it is obvious that the government of India made a fundamental error in thinking that they could engage in supporting criminal activity against Canadians here on Canadian soil. We will never tolerate the involvement of a foreign government threatening and killing Canadian citizens on Canadian soil.
Every part of that statement is a direct challenge, an accusation that India has not only violated international protocol, but has intentionally engaged in dangerous conduct that puts Canadians at risk.
It's about to get spooky.
Actions that are alleged to have taken place on Canadian soil are indeed a grave violation of our sovereignty and of Canada's rule of law.
Canada has expelled 6 Indian diplomats, including the High Commissioner to Canada. India has retaliated in kind, expelling 6 Canadian officials from Indian soil. And that has left 2 glaring questions with somewhat unsatisfying answers. What does Canada believe India did exactly? And what happens next?
Break it down, brother. Break it down.
From the Commissioner of the RCMP to an audience of journalists.
It's not our normal process to publicly disclose information about ongoing investigation in an effort to preserve their integrity.
But, he continued to say, the threat to public safety and their own effort to work with Indian authorities to resolve the problem had both become so untenable that they had no other option but to go public.
Investigations have revealed that Indian diplomats and consular officials based in Canada leveraged their official position to engage in clandestine activities, such as collecting information for the government of India, either directly or through their agents, and other individuals who acted voluntarily or through coercion.
So let's break this.
Hold on. Before he breaks it down, because I just got to chill up my spine. I'm just thinking about just the amount of influx that I just explained to you guys. 1 million a year, 50% plus coming from India. How many of these people are agents of chaos? And I'm not saying, and listen, this is not an indictment on the good people that come from India and, the good Punjabi people that are the majority of the people that come over here. It's not an indictment on y'all at all. But how many of them that are getting immigrated over here into Canada are being planted? Maybe I should ask you guys this question in the poll. I'll continue the video before I start the poll. But how many of them are being planted by the government for nefarious means?
This down in plain language, because reporters in the room had all kinds of questions for the commissioner along the lines of, what are you actually
YKTV,
alleging? And he
TFC
did
says
provide
the
some
Trojan
answers.
horse.
So
Facts.
the RCMP accuses Indian officials in Canada of gathering intelligence, using their positions and their contacts, sometimes through coercion.
Some of these individuals and businesses were coerced and threatened into working with the government of India.
And then police say Indian officials used that gathered intelligence to harass, intimidate, extort, and sometimes kill South Asians in Canada, specifically those who support the creation of an independent Sikh state carved.
Okay, the question I'm going to ask here, and they're going to get into the deep, the weeds. Are Indian spies coming in from immigration? X-File sounds, please.
Out of India's territory. India's government sees this movement as expressly threatening its sovereignty and has often branded elements of it as terrorist activity.
The RCMP chose to come out today and disrupt the pattern of Indian diplomats collecting through questionable and illegal means information on Canadian citizens that were then fed to criminal organizations that would then take violent actions from extortion to murder against Canadians.
The person serving you your Timmies could be a spy, gang.
CBC has reported extensively on the claim by both Canadian and US law enforcement that the Indian government has made use of criminal gangs to attack its enemies abroad. An unsealed US indictment late last year went into extensive detail of a failed plot to assassinate a Sikh political activist on American soil. That indictment accuses an identified Indian government employee working together with others in India and elsewhere to kill someone whose separatist organization the Indian government has banned, and the man hired to orchestrate the killing involved in international narcotics and weapons trafficking. In May of this year, the RCMP announced 3 arrests in the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a Sikh activist who was gunned down last year in a parking lot outside a place of worship.
Police say the killing of a man outside a Sikh temple Sunday night appears to have been targeted.
The brazen act of violence has shocked Surrey's Sikh community.
The 3 men arrested, all alleged associates of a criminal gang with links to a notorious Punjabi gangster.
Okay, so, she's making my heart beat, bro. Jesus Christ, man. Because the thing is that gets me, like, these guys don't be looking like the super gangsters, you know what I'm saying? Mans have the little fluff haircut and shit like that. Maybe the mustaches might give it away. But bro, when these guys are having beef in the streets of Surrey, streets of Brampton, it's not all just some street shit that has to do with maybe some territory and some drugs or whatever. I feel like maybe only 30% of that shit has to do with any type of street beef. I think when these guys have like all out crazy brawls where you see mad niggas going, well, not niggas, but mad Indian guys beefing like 40, 50 deep, it's some political shit they're beefing about. It ain't got nothing to do with a brick. Or if it does, that brick money is going towards political space. Ew. I just broke another freaking door open in my brain, because I'm like, even all the drug trade, all of the money that's coming in from these guys who are now probably heavily involved in the drug trade and have a bunch of different gangs, not probably, definitely, right? And have multiple different Indian gangs or South Asian gangs that are bringing in keys or, you know, getting connects to in South America and all these different places. As besides the opioids and all that come from over there, like, bruh, oh, all that money being made over here in Canada, go filter it back into the political system over there back home. It's a recipe for some good ass corruption right there.
Lawrence Bishnoi.
But what we've seen is from an RCMP perspective, is the use of organized crime elements, and I will say what we've, and it's been publicly attributed and claimed by one organized crime group in particular, which is the Bishnor Group. So that's what we're seeing here in Canada. And we believe that that group is connected to agents of the government of India.
The RCMP claims Indian diplomats have been working with criminal gangs to effectively do their dirty work.
They are saying that
Rewind.
To agents of the government of India.
The RCMP claims Indian diplomats have been working with criminal gangs to effectively do their dirty work.
they are saying that this isn't just government of India officials. These are individuals who are networked within the community, that there could be organized gangs that are involved in perhaps extortion or harassment and intimidation.
They've had to explicitly warn specific members of the Sikh community in Canada of specific threats.
Since September 2023, 12, 13?
At least a dozen.
At least a dozen.
And the scale.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Woo. Yo, what's scary is this shit is going on right under our noses, fam. We be so focused on Blood and Crippin' and East Side and West End. You know, we see a lot of shit on CP24. Shooting in the West End in North York. Shooting in North York this evening. Shooting in the East End in Scarborough this evening. They focus on a lot of shootings. All y'all niggas shooting each other. Y'all, all you quote unquote hip hop niggas, hip hop culture ass niggas all shooting each other. While lo and behold, there's a lot of other shit going on under our noses. To be honest, I do see some stuff on CP24, but for the amount of shit that it seems that it's going on, I don't feel like we're getting to see the half of it. We're probably seeing a quarter of the shit. I remember I reported on something maybe 2 years back, and it was around the time that Sidhu Moose Wala passed, R.I.P. Sidhu Moose Wala. And there was a podcaster, and I feel crazy saying it right now. There was a podcaster that got ran up on at his studio, and they whooped that trick. So, and the funny thing about it is, I'm there watching. I seen that on CP24. I was like, damn, why they gonna beat up the podcaster? Guys, we're just trying to learn. Just trying to learn over here. Please do not come for this podcaster. Please. Please. Just trying to learn. And I went into an Uber one day, and I seen a decal on the back of the Uber of Sidhu Moose Wala. I was like, oh, dope. He was a pretty dope artist. You know what I'm saying? I just did a documentary on him not too long ago. What do you think? And, you know, the person at the cab or the Uber driver was like, yeah, dope, cool. Yeah, I love his music, blah, 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 blah. Having a great conversation. So I decided, you know what? Let me take my journalistic brain and maybe try to find out some information about what I was seeing on CP24. And I asked, what's your thoughts on that podcaster who got beat up in Brampton? You know, I was like, what was he saying to get him beat up? Like, I don't understand. I don't know. The person just started getting like nervous. Like, I don't know. Where are you going now, so sir? Like, it's just changing the subject. Okay, this is your thing is just coming up just soon. Completely change the subject. They didn't want to talk to me no more. The conversation went sour. It wasn't the greatest conversation that we were having maybe 2 seconds ago. You know what I'm saying? So Entertainment said, me no speak English. All of a sudden, it was like fluid English, and then me no speak English. What? Podcaster? What's a podcast? Right? So I don't know what was going on in that world, and I don't speak the language, so I can't. I need to get one of these AI translators to really get to the deep of this shit, because, bruh, I would be watching the Indian news on the regular if that was the case.
Scale of this alleged operation?
In regards to homicide, there's approximately 8 individuals that have been arrested and charged in relation to homicides. In relation to extortions, there's at least 22 individuals that have been arrested and charged. Some of these have connections to the government of India.
To be clear, we're not seeking diplomatic confrontation with India.
Nope.
But we will not sit quietly as agents of any country are linked to efforts to threaten, harass, or even kill Canadians. Period.
Although the angry tone has been really quite consistent, it has also escalated this last time around with these latest allegations.
Now, it's hard to overstate just how this all represents a fundamental breakdown of trust between Canada and India.
This is not good, and the trend lines are going in the exact wrong direction. Number one, assume that diplomatic relations are going to get worse, and assume trust in that bilateral relationship is going to get worse. Like, that is that much, I think.
Hold on, I got to read this comment here on the screen. Salute to One Up M. He says, go 800 kilometers towards Thunder Bay, and they own every business in the literal middle of nowhere. Everywhere. Yo. Bro, I went to the statistic the other day. All right, I'm going to put up a clip of that video just now where we found out the stat was 1 million per year. I was like, wait a minute. 1 million a year? That's crazy. And then like 56%. All one spot, bro. And listen, man, that's on the government for what they want to do, and they have their plans, whatever it is, what it is. We got to live with it. We ain't got no choice in the matter. The only choice that we have, I guess, is voting. But you know how that go.
Can probably take to the bank.
And not just because Canada has accused India of wrongdoing, but because India has rejected outright even the suggestion that its diplomats have done anything wrong.
Canada's Justin Trudeau shamelessly lied about India, this anchor says, but India stayed strong.
And all earlier attempts to find.
So they're on complete denial, like organized criminals. We ain't got none of those over there. What are you talking about? I call cap on that, bro. I call super cap.
Find a resolution privately, fell apart.
When I spoke with Prime Minister Modi at the end of last week, I highlighted how incredibly important the meeting between our national security advisors in Singapore this weekend was going to be. He told me that he was aware of that meeting. I impressed upon him that it needed to be taken very, very seriously.
But here's India's official statement, calling Canada's accusations preposterous imputations, adding this is all just part of Justin Trudeau's political agenda.
There was a lot of fury in the statement.
Here's the thing. And I'm just trying to think if I can get into their tax bracket, or not even their tax bracket, just their mentality for a quick second. If I'm one of these big government types. If it's a case of our country don't like your country, and the floodgates are now open as far as the immigration, and I work in the government, and I know a whole bunch of people that I can plant into your country every time that the airport opens up over there at Pearson or over there at the Vancouver International Airport. I could just send for every, let's do a number that we can work with. For every 30 just regular citizens, out of those 30, I can send 10 secret agents. Especially if I don't like y'all country right now. Like, I'm not going to act like Canada is giving us or acting like we're the most likable. If people don't like Canada right now, I don't blame them. Especially when it comes to our politics. We're a joke. I'm sure India ain't the only place that are like, you guys are a joke. This is your king? Like, this is your prime minister, Mr. Moist, Mr. Flips his hair? Get this guy out of here. Is this your guy? The guy who, you know, and I'm going to get deep, okay? YouTube, calm down. But the guy who lets drag queens go teach at the school? That dude? Right? Entertainment said, oh, is that your country? The one that they let be a crackhead be the mayor for mad long with obvious signs that the nigga was on crack? Yeah, that country. Right? Mr. Blackface? Yeah, that country. Oh, you mean that country where when the lockdowns was happening, we were the most super extra stringent with the lockdowns to the point where now everybody's like cringing for money. Food banks are like literally running out of food or not even getting to their quotas of the amount of food that they want when Thanksgiving just passed the other day because the niggas ain't got no money because they kept us inside too long or put people in positions where they had to choose their choices and their own autonomy over being able to go get a bag and go back to work. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? Because Trudeau was in charge when that shit was happening. Where people were losing their jobs because they weren't getting a jabby jab by force. So then we didn't even have control over our own bodies. I'm not trying to get on some big bite Chris Sky type shit, but the nigga was speaking a little bit of facts at the time. A lot of bit of facts. Yes, that country. The country that, because of all of the ways that we handled that lockdown, Joe Rogan ain't even trying to come here no more. The biggest podcaster in the world is like, F your country. I ain't coming over there. What do you mean? The one that Trudeau runs? When we were outside at 7 o'clock in the evening, clink, 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 clink on some stupid shit like a bunch of monkeys. Like, thank you, master, for the crumbs. One Up M said, you got the shot, didn't you, Friday? Yeah, nigga. I went into the Okie. I didn't get 4 of them. I got the 1 and the follow-up. And then when they started talking about, oh, we got to do 3 and then 4. And then, you know, maybe next year if you want to do another. Yo, chill, bro. Chill. For relax on that, broski. Peace Love said, freeze your bank account. Make niggas have to walk around with some shit in their phone that niggas don't even care about. They went crazy over here. When the world was opening back up, we were like, hold on, 1 more minute. Hold on, 1 more minute. So I could understand if another country's like, you guys are jokes, fam. How dare you talk to us like that, bro? Oh, you don't like us? We don't like you neither. And guess what? We're going to send as many people as we can to bust your country up from the inside. Watch what we do. Give us about 10 years. Shit is crazy.
From India's Foreign Affairs Ministry, they say that he is using this for the election coming up next year in Canada.
Whatever happened at that meeting.
Listen, man, you'll be a turd. You're a sheep goofy if you're voting for that nigga next election time around. If we want to, listen, I'm not even trying to get extra political on this shit. But if we want to look like clowns for the next 10 years, then vote Trudeau. I'm not even saying vote for the Polyev guy. I don't know what he got up his sleeve neither. But Jesus Christ. We're looking crazy on the international stage right now. We got Mr. Blackface out there talking for us right now, bro. No wonder these guys are like, yo, let me just just plug up your whole country with bear spies and gangs, or gang spies, or spies that join gangs, or spies that control gangs. Whatever we got to do, F y'all niggas. We got you. I got you, Trudeau. You don't want to shake my hand properly? Watch what I do to y'all country. We don't got to throw one bomb at you niggas. We'll just freaking implode you niggas from the inside. Stop me when I'm lying. Yeah, Trudeau come after Friday stream after. Listen, fam, I might have to take the damn stream down, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I might have to take the damn stream down after this shit, bro. Because they ain't trying to hear all of this type of shit when it comes to this to these YouTube screets. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of left leaning that happens over here. So if you're curb stomping blackface man over there, they'd be like, yeah, I heard you. I don't want to keep my monetization. It's almost Christmas time.
I can guarantee you that it did not go well. I mean, they talked about it not meeting expectations. I think that's probably the understatement of this conversation.
India's government has underscored the high standing of their High Commissioner, 36 years of service, but among the 6 diplomats Canada has just expelled. And they've said quite plainly, as they did with the assassination of Hardeep Singh Nijjar on Canadian soil, that any assertion the government of India was involved is simply untrue.
There's a lot of cap too, though. You guys got to chill when it comes to that. Y'all niggas be capping like crazy. I could understand Trudeau calling them out too. Let's play a little bit of devil's advocate. You know what I'm saying? You can't have these niggas out here mashing up the place, just doing whatever the F they want, sending bear spies, having mad gangs over here, calling them gangsters or calling them rappers and shit like that. Like, we clear, and with all due respect to the community out there, bro, we clear that Sidhu was on some political gangster shit, right? He was playing both sides of that fence, which means you're playing, not even both sides, you're playing, they both work hand in hand. This nigga went from being a student to a rapper, like a gangster ass rapper, to somebody in politics, to dead. Yeah, okay. Trudeau ain't wrong neither, bro.
2022, Sidhu started his day like any other. A couple of nights, Sidhu got married to Amandeep Kaur, a Canadian, until November 2022, preparing for his wedding, which will take place this year.
Where's the politics part? Because this nigga wanted to get into politics. He got, is it around here?
Public showing of the movement of the Indian farmers that became more popular in Canada with the protests in September of 2020. I also want to mention that not all the videos on Sidhu's YouTube channel were with him performing the songs. His writing and his A&R skill had videos on his channel like A.W.O.L performed by Barbie Man, any kind of musician. To understand the ops, you have to know a bit more about Sidhu's alleged top op, Goldie Brar. I'm going to read you a quick excerpt from the IndianExpress.com to give you a better understanding of Brar's interesting backstory and some of the plot twists that's going to make sense in our conclusion. Who is Goldie Brar? Satinder Singh, alias Goldie Brar, is a close associate of gangster Lawrence Bishnu. He was involved in an extortion racket being run in-state. It is alleged that he had a hand in the murder of Youth Congress leader Gurral Pelhalwan. He is now living in Canada and operating there through a module in Punjab. Brar is a native of the Faridkot district in the state. Of late, Punjabi as well as neighboring state Haryana are seeing turf war between gang of jailed gangster Lawrence Bishnu and the slain gangster Devinder Bambiha. I'm joining Congress as the party has leaders who have come from Congress.
So this nigga went from student, and that's in the beginning of this doc, and every other doc that's on this guy, right? And RIP, right? Went from student to super gangster rapper, talking about political undertones in the raps, to saying, you know what, F it, I'm gonna run for, I don't know. I'm not deep into the politics like that, so I don't know exactly what he was running for. I think it was the leader of a certain party in that area. You know what I'm saying?
Common families. For instance, Cabinet Minister Amarinder Singh Raja warning who has risen from common families, he said, I want to become a part of the system to transform political corruption. In a statement to Indian Express, he said, I'm not coming into politics for status or to earn praise. I want to become a part of the system to transform it. I am joining Congress to raise the voice of people.
He's joining Congress.
Congress as the party has leaders who have come from common families. For instance, Cabinet Minister Amarinder Singh Raja warning who has risen from common families, he said. Though he was receiving backlash from a percentage of the Punjabi people, as well as the opposing political parties, his love overshadowed the hate. Sidhu also began racking up court cases. Moose Wala had been booked in multiple cases for promoting gun culture under the Arms Act. It was alleged that in December of 2020, Moose Wala had sung songs glorifying Jamnal Singh Bhindranwale and other separatist leaders. Subsequently, he ended up losing it.
The man's bigging up separatist leaders in his raps. So all of this shit is all mixed together, B. That same student that's coming down here, not the same one, because it's obviously different people, different families, different reasons that they're coming here. Okay? There's going to be a lot of people. There's a lot of people who are coming here. They're just coming here to get a better life. They don't got a bunch of money back home. They didn't go to a big college over there and say, okay, let me just continue college over here. Because the nigga went to college over there in India. He had already went to school over there. So to come over here and then do additional school is only because you got money. Everybody else is coming over here. They're either trying to get to work or they do that little scam that I showed y'all in the old video a couple of days ago, where you just go to school for a certain amount of time so you can get your work visa or whatever, student visa, and boom, you're off to the races. We'll figure out if we can stay or not. You feel me? One of those DeVry type bullshit ass schools. So when you got the people who are coming over here with the income, like, yo, I could put you in York, I could put you in whatever schools that they got over there out west. Pick a school, son. Them's the ones you have to watch for. Because as far as the allegations that Trudeau's been saying that there's a lot of spies being sent, I'm sure a lot of them are being, and a lot of people with political ties besides just being spies, a lot of them are being sent through the school system. But not the, like I said, DeVry ass, cheap ass universities, the ones that are going to UFT. Maybe not Ryerson. Ryerson's like, it's the school you just go to show your fit, right? With all due respect to the Ryerson people. But any school of stature that costs a little pretty penny to be in there, you gotta watch what that student's aspirations are. I might want to be a doctor. I might want to be a lawyer. I might want to be a doctor or lawyer for a gangster. Same job, same things apply, but who is serving is different. And when you're serving the gangsters, what we're starting to realize is that you're serving the government at the same time. A lot of that gangster shit that happens, listen, when it comes to the blacks and the whites and all of that type of stuff, all that gangster shit that we're arguing over and the ops and I'm spinning on them and blah, 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 that's for Canadian or American reasons only. We're just doing that because we got issues with each other. We're fighting over territory, whatever it is. When you see these guys fighting over some shit and it has to do with territory as well, like the same shit that we fighting over, drugs, or you know what I'm saying, you robbed me, whatever it is, there's way more implications that are involved in you trying to rob that dude. There's way more consequences and more levels up. Like, I'll pull back some of the velvet curtain. Like, a lot of times are going and you're trying to get higher in levels in the drug game, and you're trying to stay independent. Eventually you're going to bump into an HA somewhere along the way where you're like, okay, yeah, you're going to have to be my supplier, or somebody in the mob somewhere along the way where it's like, okay, yeah, you're going to have to be my guy. But somebody's going to stop you before you get to go directly to the plug down there in South America. You're going to have to get a middleman most of the time. Okay, Entertainment said big dogs. Yes. You know what I'm saying? You got to get with the big dogs. If you want to take it to the next level. All right. Now, when it comes to these guys, I'm sure some of those rules still apply, but they got their own thing going on, broski. And a lot of that money and power, besides the money, the power and influence that happens over here on Canadian soil transfers thousands and thousands of kilometers or miles back to their country and has implications over there. Right? So a street beef or somebody who's beefing over anything that's going on over here in Canada is because of something that's happening over there. Just keep that in mind. I think I'm going to end it there.
We love hip hop.